Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जयो राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ श्री राधे। जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ श्री राधे। जय निताय पतित पावन गौर हरि जय निताय पतित पावन गौर हरि। प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। कृष्ण भक्त प्रदायिनी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजमन वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री राम मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटी। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटी। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री गुरु एंड गौरांग। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरों चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you in today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we are going to discuss, I will just share the screen. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, chapter 30 and verse 26 to 30, 26 to 28. So these two verses, 26, right from the verse 25, 26, 27, and 28, the experience of hellish life is described. So we are going to study the verse 26, 27. We just read the translation because 28 verse has a purport. So we will, how the flow will go, because these these verses are full with description of hellish planet. We are starting Srimad Bhagavatam class little bit negative note. It is not negative actually, but reality of the life. As Bhagavad Gita also started with Dhritarashtra. The people ask why Dhritarashtra spoke first sloka of Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita is so auspicious, the question may come. But there are reasons why he created that ambience, and Krishna enter, and then Arjuna, Duryodhana is asking about his army to his and measuring the strength. So there are so many reasons why, so considering that we are starting with the experience of hellish life, then we'll little bit see about what are the performances people do in this world to go to the heavenly planet and how that is also temporary. And the third thing, we will end with the positive note that, what are the things uplift us to the spiritual world. So we'll start with this verse 26. Can you read Prabhuji translation?
Is pulled out by the hounds and vultures of hell. Even though he is still alive, try to see it, he is subjected to torment by serpents, scorpions, gnats, and other creatures that bite him.
Yeah, so this verse is describing how the conditioned soul engage in the sinful activity. He get the journey, his journey is fixed towards the hellish condition of life. So it is as good as we are all reading my biography here. So, and the person like me, who is not very sincere and serious, what will happen to me, Then next, his limbs are dropped off and torn. Can you read, Prabhuji?
Next, his limbs are lopped off and torn asunder by elephants. He is hurled down from
Hill.
and he is also held captive either in bottom or in the cave.
Yeah. So this verse has a purport. Can you read from?
Men and women whose lives were built upon indulgence in illicit sex life are put into many kinds of miserable conditions in the hells known as
Tammishra, Andha and Ravarava. So these are the description of hellish life, which is elaborately described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5. So we will go to the purport. The purport which is given to me by Prabhuji is really, we required some sage or sadhu to describe this purport because it is full of description of how we can detach from this material world. And a person who practice very sincerely, who can only can deliver, very nicely the Srimad Bhagavatam class on this purpose. But I will try my best, seeking blessing from all of you, not having any qualification to speak of any verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Only this 30th chapter is very favorite chapter of mine because I read it many times. When I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the chapter I read repetitively because this chapter is little horrible actually. I mean, if you read it very carefully, we can understand that how this the existence of hellish planet and the people experience in our own ISKCON society. In the Bhaktivedanta hospital itself, there are many stories. The people are narrating that how they have, interaction with the Yamadutas at the time of their death. And this, complete description is full with the journey of conditioned soul who is not following the principle of religious life in his life and what happened to him, the complete journey. And we have come to the end of each journey where we are talking about how the limb of the body will drop off and how the different vultures like jackals and rip the body of this conditioned soul. And Prabhuji was telling yesterday, the yatana deha is given to the conditioned soul, where conditioned soul can, just patiently suffer those sufferings, and immediately he will not die. If immediately he will not die, then how he can, whatever seeds he has sown of the and sinful reaction is going to reap, how he can experience those if immediately he will die. So that's what this duration is given. And the speed, within a second, it is said that thousands of miles of distance he will just cross. So that beautiful description is also given. So the material, can anyone live today? I got a spake 1 month back and I'm not using, and this is what I'm suffering today. So Prabhuji, can you read the purport? Here it is very small, it's not of.
The existence of all who are for existence is based on sex. Therefore, in the Vedic civilization, sex life is allowed only in a restricted way. It is for the married couple and only for begetting children. But when sex life is indulged in for sense gratification illegally and illicitly, both the men and the women await severe punishment in this world or after death. In this world also, they are punished by violent diseases like syphilis and gonorrhea. And in the next life, as is seen in this passage of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are put into different kinds of hellish conditions to suffer. In Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, illicit sex life is also very much condemned. And it is said that one who produces children by illicit sex life is sent to hell. It is confirmed here in the Bhagavatam that such offenders are put into hellish conditions of life in Tamishra, Tamishra, and Gaurava.
Yeah. So Prabhupada, I was hearing one class in, DT room only. Prabhupada is saying, licit or illicit, the reactions will come. So one cannot avoid it. So we will see that how, that why such a strong instruction in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to a lamp, where it dissipates all the darkness from the heart. It is compared with the sun. Krishna Sadhamo Pagate Dharma Dhyana Divisaha. When Krishna went to the spiritual abode, the Srimad Bhagavatam appeared as a sun, and it is dissipating the darkness of the entire world. And it is, igniting the lamp of knowledge in the heart of everyone. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is sweet as a ripened fruit. The mango having no only pulp, there is no seed and there is no covering. So that kind of sweetest fruit is a Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is also compared by Acharya as a Mohini Murti. The Mohini Murti was, they were churning the ocean, and demigod at one side, the demon at one side, and after churning the ocean, the essence of that entire act which is Lord Ajita was supporting at the top and also bottom as a Lord Kuruma. And, Vasuki they use as, as a rope to churning with Mandara mountain. And now the earth or the essence they got is what is the, that nectar, and everybody is aspiring for that nectar. So Srimad Bhagavatam is such a nectar where Vyasadeva, when these all Vedas, they were mixed together and he divided into four. So sometimes we go to the market and within the one basket only we take all the vegetable. In India, it happened. Here it won't happen because you have some bag is given. So Vedas were like that initially. But Vyasadeva, what he did, brinjal sabji is separate, tomato is separate, bhendi is separate. Vyasadeva divided them and also created the Pancham Veda. He wrote the Mahabharata. And after describing all, he was not satisfied. So by the instruction of Narada Muni, now he is giving the nectar, the essence of all the Vedic knowledge to all of us in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So sometimes when we hear the descriptions of such a conditioned soul punished and all, so we might be thinking the Srimad Bhagavatam is a nectar. Here it is compared with the lamb, sun, the fruit, the Mohini Murti. Then why Vyasadeva has taken trouble, to write all such a description, though it is full of nectar. Srimad Bhagavatam, we always described about the nectar. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is not like a TED talkers. So some TED talker come on the stage and he always say, become a positive, become a positive. And they are telling us, just close your eyes so that all the, you can aloof from the all reality in the life. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not like that. It is telling us a reality. It is giving us a path. The path is Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Anandam Buddhivardam Pratipadam Purna Amruta Swadanam. That is the goal, to achieve the Krishna Prema. And Srimad Bhagavatam is, as non-different than Krishna. So why then such a descriptions are given? So that we can become serious in our spiritual practices. Because another side is, if it is not shown, then how we can, release the nectar. In a cinema theater, if somebody goes and watch the movie and only everything about the hero is depicted there and there is no villain, he cannot enjoy. It is not recommended to go to cinema theater to experiment it. But I am just telling that we cannot understand that how glorious that hero is. So our hero is Sri Krishna. And the path is a bhakti yoga, the Shiva Pantha, auspicious path. So to appreciate this auspicious path, such a description in Bhagavatam make us serious. And if, because Bhagavatam is like, mother, it is said that Vedas are like a mother. And when mother is there, she gave a lot of option to the child so that child can come to the, proper level of understanding, or child can be mature enough. So many options are given. So we see some of those options. When four Kumaras, they have been told by their father Brahma to create. So they said, no, we will not create and we will follow the path of the Shiva Pantha, the Bhakti Yoga, and they completely rejected the proposal of Brahma. Where we can see that apparently one can see how one can reject the proposal of the secondary creator of this universe, Lord Brahma, the first engineer of this universe. When Krishna imparted knowledge, Tene Brahma Ruda Adi Kavaye. So that Brahma rejected by the Kumaras. So Bhagavatam has so many options, So they know that our ability that if we can enter in Brahmacharya ashram and follow this path, our life will be perfect. And this is our ability. And as per our capacity, we can do it. And they got the blessing to, perform the austerities, the four Kumaras. The Kardama Muni is an example which is in between the Tyaga and, the complete householder life. Before entering in the householder life, Kardama Muni do the tapasya of how many years? 10,000 years. And he told Lord, hey Lord, Swayambhu Manu, that I will accept this proposal, but once I will get the children, then I will leave this path. So he had his plan of retirement is already ready before entering into Grihasthashram. So that is Kardama Muni. The plan of retirement was ready. And Kardama Muni is such an exalted personality. When Lord was returning after the conversation with Kardama Muni, and when the Garuda was flapping the wings and the hymns of Samaveda, being uttered by the flapping of big wings of Garuda, this Lord was constantly shedding the tears. So that is the reciprocation of Lord with Kardama Muni. He was reciprocating with the devotion of the Kardama Muni, and with that shedding of the tear, there is a formation of Bindu Sarovar. And we can understand the glories of Bindu Sarovar. The Bindu Sarovar are nothing but the tears of the Lord. Then we have same stories where Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani were sitting, and there was one Brahmara or one bumblebee was making a noise. She was making a noise. Of course, in spiritual world, everybody glorifies the Lord. And Lord instructed Madhumangala, please chase that Brahmara so that he will not create any disturbances. So Madhumangala was chasing the Brahmar, and what happened is that, and he came back after performing his service, and he said, Madhu has gone. And the Radharani was next to the Krishna, but by hearing that Madhu has gone, she fainted, and she was shedding her tears. There was a profuse tears. And immediately Krishna, by seeing her devotion, he has also the profuse tear. So we can understand such a nectarian Bhagavatam and such a nectarian pastimes of the Lord, such a reciprocation between Lord and the devotee. Because we are going to achieve such thing one day. Prabhuji was telling, we don't know which day, but if you practice sincerely, don't know when we will transport to that spiritual consciousness or spiritual abode, though we don't know when, and such a things are waiting for us. So such a description of 30th chapter of Bhagavatam, one has to carefully read. Actually, yesterday, Prabhuji talked about how 3 types of reading. And I was trying to read this 30th chapter in that consciousness, because when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam class, at least that day we can ponder on the thing. Because Prabhuji said there are 3 things that we forget, and we think that this will not happen to me. But on the same day, at least because we have Kali Yuga memory, so at least same day we can revisit the pages of, I saw one devotee, very sincere devotee. So before coming to the Srimad Bhagavatam class, he was reading the purport, and he was reading entire things, how it is connected, so that he can ask the proper questions in the class. And also after going, he was writing everything in the notes so that he can ponder over it. Because Srimad Bhagavatam, Gaurang Prabhu says that for a brahmachari, it is like brahmachari is married with the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is very much important. Once before going to the Priyavrat Muni, or we can talk about Priyavrat Maharaj first. So the Priyavrat Maharaj also got the instruction to to create the progeny and to expand the dynasty. To expand, his kingdom. So Priyat Maharaj immediately accepted. He fully executed the instruction as it is. He know his capacity. 4 Kumaras, they know their abilities. Kardama Muni knows the ability. Immediately he retired after the giving the birth to the children. And here Priyavat Maharaj. So he, from the beginning of his life, he followed his, household life. And he got 13 sons, and he appointed 7 sons to rule the 7 islands of the, Bhumandala. So that was his execution of devotional service. Kardama Muni has his execution of devotional service, and 4 Kumaras. So how we can see, if you analyze the Shastras, I was telling that Shastras are like a mother. As a mother, sometimes scold a child, and sometimes mother pacify the child. So similarly, Shastras give all the options where we can surrender as per our capacity. And one day, some of the brahmacharis, some of my friends actually, before entering into brahmacharya ashram, they went to Devamrut Prabhu, His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj. And they asked Maharaj, we are very confused whether to enter in Grahasthashram right now, or we have to, wait for some time. So Maharaj told them that, very simple example, he told them that we should understand our capacity, that as, we should understand that how many chapatis we can consume. For you it may be different. He was indicating everyone. For you it may be different. For you it may be different. The quota may be different, but we should understand how much I can digest. and as per we can take a decision. So this simple example help many of them to understand this thing, So Shastra will give varieties of options, and we should be follow as per our bandwidth. And there is not a good or bad in Shastras, There is not good and bad. There are varieties of options are offered. So with the help of our guide, spiritual mentor, counselor, we have to consult with them, and immediately decision can be taken on this matter. And depending upon, sometimes we don't know that, different people have liking of different color, different sizes when they go to the cloth shops. But Shastra offer all these varieties, because in Naimisharanya, the different grades of consciousness, were present. People having different grades of consciousness were present in that assembly. So that's what we can see, that so many times this Bhagavatam offer also Phalashruti. And sometimes the pure devotee may say, what is required for Phalashruti? It is said that those who hear the Katha of Dhruva Maharaj on Sunday, or Dhruva Maharaj Katha on Ekadashi or Dwadashi day, he will get tremendous benefit. And sometimes this benefit as, materialized in terms of the, what is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And one may bewilder such a nectarian Bhagavatam, and why such a things are spoken. So one can understand that there are different varieties of audiences there. It is not end of the life, but we have to elevate to the Krishna Prema. The goal is a Krishna Prema, but one cannot, directly take. Like in case of when Kardama Muni offered, he said that I got a Bhagavat Prasada to Mother Devahuti, and I need to offer you. So she said, so apparently one can see she is rejecting the Bhagavat Prasada. Bhagavat Prasada means Bhagavata Prema. So that he has done tapasya of 10,000 years, but he is offering to Devahuti, who has done some years of service to him. We can understand our spiritual master, they have done so much tapasya, they trace the path so many years, and they have so much purity, and with so much of tapasya, they can offer something to us within a second. So they have the power, and Mother Devahuti rejected. So apparently she is rejected, but she is accepting Supreme Personality of Godhead as a son. So we cannot say that we should not minimize the position of Mother Devahuti, because she is accepting, and that's what we got is 30 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam by, Kapila, by Kapila Muni. We can understand that how glorious are all these chapters are to absorb in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are the various, how the Shastras are compassionate, and they are exhibiting their compassion to various souls. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj Swami also speak in Spiritual Warrior about, the experiences of many people around the globe by seeing the Yamadutas, and the descriptions given in this chapter, how relevant to it. One can get some glimpse of this, Yamadutas. Many people in our movement or outside also, people narrate the story of, even my own grandfather used to tell me that he had some experience with his friends. They narrated the stories about Yamadutas. Some people coming with buffalo, with, I can't describe it now. I forgot some of that description, but they always used to describe those things. So we talk about how this, the descriptions in Yamalokas, they are not making us a negative, but they are telling us the reality of the life. And Srimad Bhagavatam is not only speaking about that, it is not Arada Kukutit Nyay, but also there is some description of heavenly life, Veda Vadaratam. Some people are, there is a flowery language of Veda, and people get attracted to that flowery language. Putram Dei, Dhanam Dei, all kinds of things are offered there. But one should not be bewildered by such offering, because Mahabharata was telling, even Devamrut Maharaj series, our Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj series of Sri Bhagavad Gita, he was telling, when these devatas, the end of life come, so they start crying. Their one tear is like one pillar. In Mahabharata it is given. And within that tear, their soul enter and they come in the form of the seed on the Bhuloka. And the seed was, taking a form of fruit. That fruit is eaten by some male. There is a union between male and female. And again, there is a birth of baby. That baby also attracted by the flowery language, Putram Dehi, Dhanam Dehi, and all. And also started worshiping some demigod. And next life, the baby become a demigod and he had God follower. So Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam. This entire merry-go-round, the birth, birth, death, this cycle go on. So this is experience in heavenly life. Bhagavad Gita talk in 9.20. Can somebody read?
Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of simple reaction, they take birth in the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly.
And then 9.21, anyone?
When they have first enjoyed vast reminiscence, pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to the mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Yeah. So Lord is also giving the descriptions of the heavenly life in this. So this is heavenly life. The Putras of Kuberas, when all opulences are granted to them, and they were just drunk and they were enjoying with all their friends. So that is the things in heavenly life. So in heavenly life, we can easily forget the Lord because all the opulences are granted. In the hellish life, there is so much suffering, we cannot remember the Lord. So this human form of life is so important, so we can nicely remember the Lord. But what happened, we are constantly associating with this body, the human form, so we take it so much granted. We don't know that if you are in the heaven or if you are in the Narakaloka, we cannot, absorb in the pages of Bhagavatam or cannot focus on the instructions of the Lord. So Gauragopal Prabhu was nicely narrating one shloka. I don't know what is the reference of that. I asked many people, but it is said that Ati Parichayat Avadnya Satata Gamanat Anadaro Bhavati Malaye Bhilla Purandari Chandanam Indanam Kurukasta Guriti. Ati Parichayat Avadnya means when we are constantly in company with something, Ati Parichayat Avagya, we start disobeying that. The body is with constant companion with us for many years now. So we take it granted. Satata Gamanat Anadaro Bhavati. By already every day we see and familiarity builds the contempt. We start develop disrespect for those things. Malaye Bhilna Purandari. There is one Malayagiri, there is one mountain, and one lady, she was using all chandana to cook her daily bread and her daily bread. She was cooking on that, chapatis and all, the daily food. The Chandan generally, if Mr. Virappan will come, he will know the importance of Chandan. He has done so many things in Karnataka, all of you. So, but that Bhilna Purandari, because already associating with that Chandana, she was using Chandana as a Indana. So that much she was valuing that Chandana. So that's what happened with us. So, we are constantly with the holy name, constantly with our own body. So, Satata Gamanat Anadaro Bhavati. So if we are not gracefully and respectfully approaching this thing, the opportunities are given to us, then that disrespect will come and we start disobeying the thing and we'll take it granted. So that's what this shloka talk about. So these are 9.23 and 9.25 also talk that how Krishna is only giving this kind of benediction so that we can fix our focus on some demigod. I saw some of my friends in the colleges. When I was associating with the devotee, they were in my circle. But when I discussed with them from Gita and all, so they did not become a devotee of the Lord. Some of them, most of them did not become. But their faith, I saw that whatever they were worshipping, they were worshipping Shiva, Ganesha. So they were sincerely doing it, either to impress me, or maybe this is effect of, repeating as it is this shloka to them. Actually, really this thing happened. You can really see, even my own sister, She never accepted Krishna consciousness. My brother accepted for some time. Then again, association and all those things came. But I'm seeing that whatever she is practicing for demigod, she becomes sincere and serious by seeing what my mother is doing for Krishna or my family members are doing. So it happens, So actually, this faith is Krishna is only granting actually. And yanti devavrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvata bhutani yanti bhutecha yanti madhya jino abhimam. So that is famous shloka. So this is what the heavenly life begins. If we worship the demigod, we go to the heavenly planet, and again we have to come back. Again we have to go by performing some sacrifice. We go to the heavenly, and again we have to come back. So hellish life is also danger to remember the Lord. The heavenly life is also danger. And the beautiful, the permanent, eternal abode of Lord Krishna, where if you hold a rope of devotion, and so that is also described very prominently in Srimad Bhagavatam. Some chapters are there dedicated to heavenly theme, and this life in Narakaloka. But we can see the theme and essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam is a rope of devotion that one has to hold. It is said that in Brahma Vibhavan Leela, Krishna was carrying all the time the rice, the morsel of rice in his hand. In Sanskrit, the rice is called as a bhakta, and this palm is, called as a ashraya. So Krishna is saying that when bhakta take my ashraya, I will never leave them. He was in front of Brahma, he was carrying that. You can see the picture. He's carrying that, The Krishna is carrying that rice. Even he was in front of, in that circle where they exchanging the food items with each other, with Subala and all, Sridhama. He was having that rice in his hand. When he was searching the cow, that time he was also having rice. When he was expanding, to so many cows and so many gopas, he's having that morsel of rice. Then one Acharya gave the commentary, because rice is called as a bhakta and this palm is ashraya. Once we take the ashraya of Krishna, Krishna will not, easily, leave us. So that is what Krishna is indicating. And the Kaliya, I was talking last time also. What was the fortune of Kaliya? What he has done? There are some stories, but not indicating that his direct devotion to the Supreme. But he has done three things. He has taken the shelter of Yamuna. He has taken the shelter of Dham. This is Vrindavan Dham, and his wives were, the devotees of the Lord, all Nagapatanis. So he got association of the devotees, and Kaliya got delivered by Krishna. So, and then the qualification of Amoga. What was his qualification when Lord Chaitanya was, was offered so much prasadam like Jagannath, we offered in Jagannath Puri. So this Amoga, who is the son-in-law of Bhattacharya, he was blaspheming Lord Chaitanya. He said that this much, you are telling that, what is that? Bhalena Kaibo, what is that verse? Bhalena Kaibo, Bhalena Paribo. Yeah, you are telling your disciple, don't eat such a, nice food stuff, don't wear such a nice cloth, comfortable. And now you are not following what you are speaking here. So that was Amoga's consciousness. And Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was holding a stick in his hand that anytime this Amoga will come and blaspheme Lord Chaitanya. So he was taking care. And, the same Amoga got, he was suffering from some diseases. And when Bhattacharya informed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya came himself immediately. He ran towards Amoga. That is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And he ripped, as Nasima Bhagavan ripped the body of Hiranyakashipu, Lord Chaitanya ripped, and he once, very black thread from heart of Amoga. And that black thread represents his envy. So Krishna removed his envy also. Why? The qualification is only his relationship with Bhattacharya. The qualification of Kaliya, his relationship with Nagapatnis. So this is the devotional service. This journey, how we are going. The life in Narakaloka, the life in heavenly planet, and life in spiritual world. How sweetness, will be offered to us. The Lord Ram also giving shelter. One time Lord Ram in Vanavas, he was walking and there was a thorn in his lotus feet. And Lakshmana, it was bleeding. So Lakshmana said, I will remove that thorn. So Ram said, no, no, no. The second day, there was another thorn. The third day, another thorn. And Lakshmana finally pleaded Sita Devi. His lotus feet is bleeding now. And I want to help Ram Chandra by removing this thorn. So Ram said, because this thorn has taken shelter of me, I will not leave him. So that was the consciousness of Ram. And also when Hanuman and with all his mantri, all his minister, Prabhu Ramachandra wanted to take the decision from Hanuman and all the minister whether we can accept Vibhishan or not. So there was the assembly and Vibhishan came. So that time Ram said, so hey Vibhishan, I offer entire Lanka to you. Then everybody said, hey Ram, if you are offering Lanka to Vibhishan, what will happen to Ravana? So Ram said, I will offer entire Ayodhya to Ram if he will, Ravana, if he will take my shelter. So that was Prabhu Ramachandra. Then everybody said, you already offered Ayodhya to whom? Bharat Maharaj. Then what will happen to him? He said, I will offer, entire Vaikuntha to Bharat Maharaj. So he said, Ram, entire Vaikuntha belongs to you. How you can offer entire Vaikuntha to Bharat Maharaj? Then Ram said, because if I don't have any place to live, I will live in the city of heart of Hanuman, and I can constantly dwell there in his heart. So that was a consciousness of Prabhu Ramachandra. This is sweetness, of the spiritual life. And also, I will stop sharing so I can read properly. Okay. Yeah. So, Bilvamangal Thakur. So, he is also talking about this rope of devotion. He said, hey Krishna, you have stolen the butter from Mother Yashoda's house and Gopi's house. Hey Krishna, you have stolen the heart of Srimati Radharani and you become a Gauranga. And you have stolen the color of the monsoon cloud and you appeared here as a Krishna, Shama Sundara Krishna. So similarly, hey Krishna, please come to the prison which is full of darkness and which is full of dirt. That prison is full of darkness and dirt. That is my heart. And please, and I will bound you by the rope of my devotion so that you will remove this, dirt and darkness from my heart. So that is the prayers of Bilvamangal Thakur. And again, we can see one beautiful shloka by Rupa Goswami, which is also talking about the rope of devotion. Why this rope theme I have chosen? Because if you see, the conditioned soul is bound by the rope, and Yamadutas were carrying him to the Yamalokas, and because he did not listen to the Lord throughout his life, and now the punishments are offered as per the 4 regulative principles he is breaking in his life. No meditating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And he's not offered his heart to the Lord. So he's bound by the rope and called and taken to the hellish life. And also the Swargaloka, if you bound to the rope of this flowery language, you will enter in the Swargaloka. But there is no guarantee, you will come again. And here, the rope of devotion, where our Bilvamangal Thakur is talking about how we can bound Lord Krishna by a rope of devotion. And also our Rupa Goswami, there was a famous shloka by Rupa Goswami. I will just okay. I will just stop sharing so that I can read it here properly. Yeah. So Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, he said in Stavamala Stotra 36 verse that Manjisha Fanis Juste Labdha Pastumi Duste. So there is a dark, deep well, and which is a blind well full of all kinds of rock, and Timira grahama rupe, hanta sansara kupe. This is a sansara. Kupa means well, and entire thing is dark. It is like my heart, he saying. Ajita Nikhila Raksha, and Lord Ajita, come and protect me. Hetuma Udhara Daksham. Upanyama Mama Haste, Bhaktim Rajju Namaste. So only because there is a snake in this dark, deep well, and a snake can devour me anytime, the snake of time. And there is a Timira, this entire heart is full of, he's comparing his heart, he's comparing with Sansara. This Sansara is like a dark, deep well. And only one person can save me. If you can, somebody from outside, if you send some rope, which is a Bhakti Rajjum Namaste. So I offer my obeisances to that Bhakti Rajjum, which is like a rope. I can hold it and come out. So that is the glory of Acharyas, like Rupa Goswami, the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much, very much attracted by the devotion of Rupa Goswami, and with his sincerity. And he is asking him that, how you know my heart, hey Rupa Goswami? So Rupa Goswami said, that is only due to your mercy I am knowing your heart. We say Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadandikam. So that is the Rupa Goswami Prabhu. He is praying to the Lord. So we can know that though the descriptions are not palatable sometimes, but same description will give us a nectar in the Srimad Bhagavatam if we carefully study. Even dynasties in the Srimad Bhagavatam, all family tradition, if you carefully study, we know that how these great people are following the devotion, and we get inspiration. And by seeing the description about this Naraka Yatana and all, we also get inspiration that if I don't follow, so I have to go to such a hellish life or heavenly life. There is no Krishna there. So just by reading this description carefully, finally we have to achieve all those things. What Prabhu Ram is offering, or Lord Chaitanya is offering to Amoga, what Rupa Goswami Prabhu is praying, and what Bilva Mangal Thakur is praying in his prayer. So that is the glory of devotion, and we will transform to the topmost loka. We don't want to hold on to the hellish life, not to the heavenly life, but we will go to the topmost loka. So this is what today's verse, which is concluded about the married life and the illicit sex relationship. And Prabhupada clearly mentioned the licit or illicit, but one has to be very careful. And just by rendering the pure devotional service in the association of devotee, and just by engaging themselves in positive devotional activities, one can come out of all these things. I will conclude with only one example. Recently, I was in Yatra with some devotees, and I met so many of my friends for so many years. Some or other, they went to some other countries, or I came here, and there was a disconnection for many years. And one of my friend was telling, after the Yatra, he called me. We have such a relationship that he completely tell his life to me, and I completely tell his life. Only one friend I have like that in US also, and in India also. So he was telling, so before coming to Yatra, every day I was going to Mangal Aarti to our local temple. Every day I was finishing my round, trying to finish 3 to 5 and then Mangal Aarti. In India, Mangal Aarti is 4:30. So many austerities I try to do in this, because our local leader are, they are like all brahmacharis. They are such a, they inspired us in such a positive way that I did all these things and come for Yatra, buying a ticket, very costly ticket in the Yatra. And every day in Yatra also, I was finishing my round before Mangal Aarti. I was sitting with the Guru Maharaj and chanting with him. And I was also serving, so many things nicely happening. So why I'm telling this point, he told one very nice point. He said, one day I was sitting with my other fellow, temple mate, and we were just discussing. And that only small discussion spoiled my life. He said, what I discussed, you want to hear all of you? He just said that, look at that Mataji, he has taken away our brahmachari. That only one sentence. because that Prabhuji was nice brahmachari. He was a leader in that community. But he said, look at that Mataji. He has taken up some nice brahmachari. Now we are not getting his association. Due to him only, he got attracted towards her, and now he's not in the ashram. So that kind of discussion he did. Prabhuji was telling yesterday. In mind, if you something come in Kali Yuga, immediately we have to stop and start praying to the Lord actually, because the manasik can be vachik, and then it can be kriya will come. Immediately the action will come. He said that was the third day of yatra. Krishna said, Gahana Karmano Gati. We don't know exactly what happened. He said, from next day, I started develop in the yatra in front of my Guru Maharaj. I was with, there was an assembly of 12,000 devotees, and midst of that, some very negative thoughts started coming in my mind. Complete negative thought. The yatra ambience completely gone. I came by spending $2,000 ka ticket in the yatra, but I was pondering about such a thought which I used to ponder in my college days. So that's what Prabhuji was telling yesterday. Sincere chanting of Hare Krishna mantra and no offense to anyone we can enter in the spiritual world. Small offense, everything was doing nicely. But that small offense, the small labeling of that brahmachari, that brahmachari is doing nicely actually in his life, whatever capacity he is serving now. And 20 years he was in ashram, so we can understand. But we should not judge anyone, and we should not label anyone. And he was very sincere to share with me, and I don't have any qualification to listen from him, but he was sincerely shared with me this thought, after making all the arrangement to go to the yatra. This is what spoiled the life. So one should be very careful, not chanting sincerely the Hare Krishna mantra and not disrespecting, labeling, or judging anything. This is judgment-free zone. Our ISKCON is judgment-free zone. That's what we are in. Prabhuji said we are a mercy case. Yugul Krishna Prabhu always says. So we should understand that due to mercy case, we are just surviving in this moment. So thank you very much for your patience listening. And if I spoke something wrong, please forgive me. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any comment, or we can end.
Prabhuji, thank you for this wonderful class. I was thinking, was that a summary of Srimad Bhagavatam? You conveyed so many wonderful examples, giving so many insights about Srimad Bhagavatam. Especially, I was personally touched with the examples you gave in the personal life of devotees. That was very enlightening, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I have one question.
Yeah, Prabhuji has some comments.
No. The only question is that sometimes, suppose I judge, I see something, some devotee, I think it's not appropriate. So it's not within my service to point it out. It's nothing. But then it will come in my mind. Because somehow I'm controlling, I'm not saying. But then Narottam Das Thakur says, don't give up the tendency of finding fault with others. Give up the tendency of finding fault with others. You just it's a very dangerous disease actually. So this disease of fault finding, whether it's correct or not, it's a different thing, but it's like, it's their personal life. Why should I interfere? So what can I do on a deep Krishna conscious level to actually come out of this fault finding nature?
I'm pretty sure you're, doing it for service most of the time, so that people will elevate. But as my life experience is that people say that I am in Krishna consciousness for 2 decades, but I know my position that so many times due to this fault finding nature and labeling the devotee, that was very, very danger in my life. I mean, there are certain instances that months and months I was away from Srimad Bhagavatam, and months I was away from, attending morning program in the temple. Months actually. I mean, this is what happened to me, but I know you're doing it for service to the Lord,
No, so the point is that, on a Krishna conscious level, of course, there are so many ways you can patch it up and you can cover it up and for the time being, like it's like a temporary patch up, you can always do that. Like a wound comes, you can always put a plaster. But then this tendency to find fault with others, uh, this is on a deep Krishna conscious level, what can be done to elevate to a higher consciousness so that even though you may see something, just take it, just don't be affected by it and just go on. What is the Krishna conscious solution?
Yeah, actually, it's too late, but what I heard that if it is in our adhikar and as a service we can do, but if it is not in our adhikar, we can talk to that, because it might not be fault, but it might be genuine thing the devotees are suffering in his spiritual life, and you can convey it to your authority, and with authority, the devotees can be corrected. One day it happened that one brahmachari of my friend, he was talking to Mataji very closely, and he is from the right from the beginning we were together. I become a grasta, he become a brahmachari, and that I could convey to my authority. It was not my thing. I mean, he is not my friend. Sorry, he's another example. He was not my friend, and I had no adhikar. So I saw him talking, and Mataji was alone, and I could not convey to my authority at the right time, at the right day, and it happened that uh, he was in white. He's doing nice thing. He was in white, but I was the person. Maybe Krishna has. I don't know how I went to that place. I was not supposed to go, but I went and I observed this, and everybody from outsider also, if anybody can observe that he's talking like that very intimately, he could have corrected. But I did that big mistake in my life. I did not convey to my authority, and so better to convey. People may think that we are foolish, but we have to convey if it is genuine. And I think as you are practicing brahmachari, you know that Paramatma is always guiding, and you can ask to authority also. It may not be genuine. I am correcting him, but it might be helpful to him for his spiritual practices. It might be, but sometimes we don't think like. I mean, but that is what I am thinking. Prabhuji, you want to add something? I think this is a. It is not a. I mean, this to need to be discussed very elaborately, this question, because
what is the mistake? Like, if you don't, if they are willing to correct, and suppose we don't communicate that to them, we don't tell them, then that's also an offense, right?
yeah, if you don't, but what happen, if you tell them, sometimes you'll break your relationship.
Yeah, so my point is like, we want to tell them or correct them, or like, tell them, put it in a proper way, like, politely, in a Krishna consciousness, thinking that in a mood, thinking that you are providing, you are offering a devotional service. So in that mood, if we convey,
Yeah. Yeah, and depend upon relation we can convey. Now, here I don't know that Prabhu, and if I correct him today, how we will feel, right? I don't know you, right? By your name, we never met. So I know this Prabhu. We are becoming good friend. I know Rohinanda Prabhu very nicely. So Rohinanda Prabhu can correct me. Prabhuji can always correct me. But depending upon relation, yes. But some people may take it. I thought, I tried to correct somebody in Boston, and he took it very wrongly, and our relationship broke for a month and month. Till I am working on that, till, because I had no authority. And I did that big mistake. And I was very nicely, after morning program, after 16 round, I was trying to convey him. But I'm seeing when he come in front of me, still today, I'm thinking that he's hiding in front of me. So I decided not to correct, better to go to authority, because that is not our adhikar. And if you have good relation, you can say that one day, my counselor's friend told to my counselor, "Arey, आप सबको सेवा ही दे रहे हो या खुद भी सेवा कर रहे हो?" Because so many years now he is engaging the people. So that kind of relation they have. And then it is happen. I have many. So Krishna consciousness, peer relationship is very much matter. Your seniors, they will tell you something, and आप उनके, you will not go and fight with them actually, or you will follow as it is them. Your junior, they will always respect you. You will respect your senior. But peers are the people who will correct you and they will help you. So we have to find out that circle in Krishna consciousness. If it is not there, we are, at stability in Krishna consciousness for so many years. We should have so many peer around. Like Krishna Kumar Prabhu is one of my, we almost same time we came, and we can tell each other so many things actually, and we can correct each other. I mean, I have that relationship with Prabhuji. I have given full freedom to him, so he can, do. So we should find out some friends in Krishna consciousness. That is very much important. I'm seeing outside circle also, people talk about this, you should have peer relationship very strong. Then we can nicely convey everything. Otherwise, so many things going in heart, and we are not conveying our senior out of shame, not junior out of shame, and then we are at that level only. Yeah, you're right, Prabhu. But depending upon the relationship, we have to convey. Yeah. Okay, I am very much grateful to all of you for attending Srimad Bhagavatam today. Thank you. We are waiting for today's Sunday feast class by Divya Tirtha Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Nishkinchan Nitai Prabhu ki jai.
Dandavat pranam. Devotee.